Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. It's LB stream, and transfer news has started already. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Yes, in the chat. Let's get some shout-outs done straight off of the rip. Let's go. We got Wizzy in the building. We got Itchy Goat, Tommy, Only Blue in the Village, Jens, Ryan, Anakin, Jaren, Joseph, VTech, George. Big up to Ansel Sami, yes. Big up to Ashaz, John, Aisho, Bob, Dash, Section, Aaron, Austin, Jens again, Brett again. Big up to David, Aaron, Luan. Big up to True Blue Tie. Yeah, man. You know what, bro? I seen someone in the chat, the other day or yesterday or whatever, say, like, what's it like? Pray for Japan or whatever. And I was like, what are they talking about? I don't know what's going on. And then I seen it yesterday, man. Fucking bad, innit? You know what I mean? So absolutely, mate. Big up to Ginan. Big up to Andrew. Osmodius, Mank Ninja, Avocado, Chizzy. Big up to Knitting. Yeah, I'll read it in a sec, bro. Big news. Big breaking transfer news. And it's coming from Tolmie. So I'm starting to put Tolmie in the in the title now. So you guys can't cook me in it because some people don't like me speaking about Tolmie. So then if you don't like it, then you don't have to watch it because I get it. Some people don't trust this guy, but I kind of trust him to a degree. This is what he's saying. Joshua Kimmich wants to join Manchester City, whether this month or on a free transfer. Obviously, he's later corrected himself and said that he's not actually out of contract until next summer, so that's not going to be a free transfer. Bayern still like Calvin Phillips. He said, forget about the Man United contract links. So, are Manchester City about to offer Calvin Phillips plus £20 million for Joshua Kimmich? Because we spoke about this before, right? We spoke about this before. And the fact is, with Kimmich, you can tell that Kimmich don't want to be there, yeah? You know, all the stuff that's coming out. He's not been in the team a couple of times, bit dodgy and that kind of stuff, yeah? And they're not really in a power position, Bayern Munich. They're not really in a power position with this contract. Like, if you compare it to Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen, yeah? Bayer Leverkusen, top of the league. He's got a contract for 3 more years. If anyone comes knocking on the door and says, oh, we'll bid 70 million for Wirtz, they're just going to be like, nah, no chance. We're in a power position. Bayern are not really in the power position right now because of the contract situation. This is why it's really important to keep on renewing contracts for players and why players will just get paid more and more and more because they've got all the power. So they're not going to be able to demand a massive fee. So if you look at it and go 20 million, how much would you guys say? Genuine question. How much do you think Calvin Phillips is worth in today's market? He's what, 27 years old? Let me have a look at his stats. He's 28. He's just turned 28. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's not a top class player. He's a good, solid player. 30 million? 30 million? Couple people in the chat saying, what, 30 million, 30 million, 30 million, 30. Luke says 40, 35, Reese 40, 35, 30. Yeah, I think 40, given the lack of game time, I think he's probably a little bit too high. But I reckon about 30 million. So the question is, if Bayern Munich want Calvin Phillips, which apparently they are interested in him, and I actually think he'd do quite well there. I think he'd do quite well at Bayern. 30 million for Calvin Phillips plus 20 million, so around 50 million. Would they accept that for Joshua Kimmich? Would they accept that? He's got 18 months left on his contract. It's clear that Kimmich and Tuchel have maybe had a bit of a bust up. How big that is, whether or not they can sort of come together again and sort it out, don't know. But I don't think it's a silly deal. When I seen the tweet initially, I thought, seems a bit low. 20 million pound and Phillips seems a little low. I was thinking maybe more 25, maybe 27 plus Calvin Phillips. But to sort of open the negotiations, I don't think that is completely ridiculous. And if Kimmich had maybe 3 years left on his deal, I'd be like, no chance. But 20 million, 25 million plus Calvin Phillips, if they want him, that seems a realistic deal. Now, if it's cash only and they don't want Calvin Phillips, bro, you're going to have to double it. At least double the 20 million. There ain't no way. Well, in my opinion, there ain't no way you're going to get him out of Bayern Munich for 20 million quid. I just do not see that whatsoever. So yeah, listen, it's certainly an interesting one because I think Kimmich will be great for us. I think he'd be great for us. Now we did the watch along Bayern Munich versus Man United. I didn't think he played particularly well. However, in that game, I did see certain things that he was doing that I thought, if he was in a better team, i.e., Man City, I think he could do well. He could play in the Gundogan position, like we had Gundogan there last year. I think he could do that. His actual attacking stats are pretty decent, really, and he could also fill in for Rodri. And play in that number 6 position, the centre defensive mid position, when Rodri's out, suspended, needs a rest, or whatever, you know what I mean, injured, God forbid. So I think it's a great deal. Whether or not it's still early days, obviously, on the rumour mill so far, but if we can get this deal over the line, especially if we can get it done this January, which again, I don't think we will. I don't think we're going to sign anyone personally, but if we can get it done, I think that would be an absolutely fantastic deal. I really, really do. Big up to Sir Alan, says, Happy New Year. Don't be silly. He's not leaving Munich. Well, the thing is, though, Al, there has been a lot of rumours saying he's not happy. Apparently, he's had an argument. Apparently, he's had a little bit of a bust up with Tuchel. He wasn't in the squad a couple of weeks ago, just completely out the squad, and they said he was ill or something. And he's not signed a new deal. He's still not signed a new deal. He's only got 18 months left on his contract. So, I don't know. It's like the Musiala thing, because Musiala was like, the stuff that we was hearing from Musiala suggested that he didn't want to be there. He wanted to leave. But then now the last statement that he was like, oh, I like it at Bayern. So I don't know what's going on at Bayern Munich. It seems to me to be a bit of a weird sort of aura around that football club at the moment with the players. You know, I think you've got quite a lot of the players that maybe have been there a few years, or like Musiala obviously has been there probably since he's 16 or whatever, and maybe are not particularly happy with the new direction of the football club, maybe not too happy with the style of management that Thomas Tuchel is trying to implement at Bayern Munich, and are maybe just holding off on signing new contracts like your Kimmiches, like your Musialas. But then at the same time, it could all just be gamesmanship. They could just be playing the game, the standard, oh, I want to leave. And then next thing, they've signed a 5-year contract on about 500 grand a week. So it's very straight. I don't really know what's going on at Bayern at the moment with the players. It's a very weird situation. Big up to Anakin as well. Says Kimmich inverting from right back could allow KDB and Foden freedom in front of him. And Rodri, we would probably have to buy another winger, though. Well, we need to buy another winger anyway, Anakin. You're spot on that one. Now, with Kimmich, I don't know if someone can help me out in the chat here, but there has been apparently problems with Kimmich and his desire to play in certain positions. I believe he either wants to play in the Gundogan role or he doesn't want to play there. It's like it's like he wants to play in a certain position and he's not really happy about playing in a different position. I'm not 100% sure which position he wants to play, but surely if he's coming from Manchester City, if he's coming to Manchester City, he's not going to start moaning, because he'll be playing every week, Kimmich. Let's not get it twisted. He's not going to come into Manchester City and start moaning if he wants to play in a certain position. So apparently he wants to play as a number 6. Okay, but if you say to him, if you say, I don't really get it though. Do you know what I mean? You're telling me that he's going to turn, if Pep Guardiola goes to him and say, listen, you're right, Kimmich, I want to play you in the Gundogan position. So the role is, you're going to attack, you're going to defend, you're going to score goals, you're going to defend. You might play in a double pivot with Rodri. And then when Rodri's injured or suspended, or we need to rest him, you'll play in the number 6 position. Like, I don't know. I just don't see like a player. I mean, maybe I'm being naive here. You know what I mean? And feel free to call me naive if you think I'm being naive. Are you really telling me that a player is going to turn down Pep Guardiola, turn down Manchester City because Pep's like, I'm not 100% playing you in the number 6? I don't believe that for 1 second, man. Well, and if that is true, then I think you're an idiot, mate. If you're a player that does that, you know what I mean? Turning down Pep for that's weird. Big up Jimmy and says, likes up, lads and ladies. Yes, guys, hit the thumbs up button if you've not done so already. Over 400 people tuned in right now. Let's get those likes to at least 150 likes. I need 19 people to hit the thumbs up button to get me to 150 likes. Big up to Jimmy for the super chat. And LB says, West Ham versus Brighton watch along tonight, Bray. I don't think so. I think I'm going to try and get some people on the channel, have a bit of a talk about how the first half of the season's gone. So I will be doing a stream tonight. Not sure what, but just hang fire on that one, bro. Big up for the super chat. Big up for the super chat. Yeah, exactly. Why would you turn down serial winners? Do you know what I mean? I don't really get why you would do that, to be honest with you. So, listen, I mean, Kimmich for me is a great player. I think he'd be absolutely a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful addition to Manchester City. And I've said time and time again that for me personally, I think if Kimmich is available, you've got to go and get him. You got to go and get him. These are his stats. So 28 years old. He's about to turn 29. So, you know, plenty of experience. Played for Bayern Munich his whole career. He's got top-level game experience. He's played a lot for Germany as well. So far this season, he's played 20 games, 1 goal and 6 assists. He's played 82 times as well, as you can see, for Germany. So bags and bags and bags of experience here. You know what I mean? But look, he's been ill. He's been ill. So I'm not sure what's going on there. You know what I mean? Whether, because like I say, there have been rumours that say he's fallen out with Tuchel. He's falling out with him. And now he's starting to get these rumours coming out that Manchester City are interested. Would they be prepared to let him go in January? Now, remember, they was close to signing Palhinha in the summer before that move fell through. So what we might be looking at here is a bit of a domino situation. Yeah, we might be waiting for the first one to fall. I've said plenty of times, if City I think we should sign one anyway, to be honest with you. But if we let Calvin Phillips go, we should sign a replacement, in my opinion. I think you've got to. I think our squad is too weak at the moment anyway. I think it's too small. If you look at our midfield, when Rodri's out, we need a replacement. I'd sign one anyway. But if you let Phillips go, you've got to sign a replacement, in my opinion. Now, City will be looking, and we've been linked with Andre. I'm not too sure on that one. If it's super cheap, maybe, but it didn't truly impressed me when we played against him. He impressed me in the first game. Second game, when he played against a more difficult opposition, Manchester City, I was like, not really for me. Palhinha was absolutely fantastic against Arsenal the other day, but he plays in a double pivot. When I've watched Fulham, he plays with someone next to him, whether it's Kearney or whoever. So could he do that job as a solo DM? Now, that's up for you to have your own opinions on that. I don't know. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I don't know. But he's a fantastic player. And if you can get him in for around, rumour has it that you can get him in for 50 mil. If you can get him in for that, then that might be worth the option. However, what you might see is Bayern Munich go back in for Palhinha again in January, just like they wanted him in the summer. Get that deal done. Yeah. Fulham can obviously go and buy Andre, who they've been linked with a lot. And then Manchester City could potentially that could open the door for Manchester City to go and get Kimmich. Because let's just say it straight, yeah. Bayern Munich are not letting Kimmich leave if they don't get a replacement. Like just so we're all clear, that is never going to happen unless like there's a huge fight, yeah, physical. That is never ever going to happen. They're not going to let him leave, yeah, because even though there's rumours of a falling out, he's still captained the side on multiple occasions. He's still played in pretty much every single game, bar the red card suspension and when he's been ill. So he's still an important part to their team. They're not just going to let him leave without getting a replacement in. You know what I mean? So we might be looking at a bit of a domino effect here. If they can get Palhinha in and City can agree a fee with Bayern Munich, to be honest, I'd go up to 50, 60 million for this guy. I would. I'd go up to 50, 60 million for Kimmich. Because I just think he's exactly what we need. I think he's exactly what we need. I think he's got all the attributes you need to play in the Premier League. He's physical. He's quick on the ball. He can move it quickly. He's got that bit of aggression about him. He's worked with Pep Guardiola before. Question, because I'm not 100% sure. Anyone watch like Kimmich under Pep Guardiola? How did he do? If anyone knows, like, did he do well under Pep Guardiola? Because I'm pretty sure he started as a right back, didn't he? And inverted him into the midfield, and now he's just a midfielder. So I'll be interested to see if anyone in the chat like watched Bayern regularly, maybe when Kimmich played under Pep Guardiola, to see exactly how he played. Yeah, Sam Lee's covering City's ass by saying City could sign a midfielder. He's saying that if we don't get a player through the door in midfield, says Zohib. Let me have a look exactly what Sam Lee's been saying then, because I don't think I've seen this, but a couple people in the chat said check Sam Lee's tweet. What's he saying? I can't see it, guys. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Let me see if I can find it on. There we go. Okay. So check this out. How do we get this up? There we go. This is Sam Lee. If Calvin Phillips departs this season, there is a chance Man City could strengthen the midfield this month. So there's a chance. I mean, we should. We absolutely should. We should 100% sign a midfielder. We should sign one anyway, regardless of whether he stays. Because, again, not being nasty, but the guy effectively doesn't play for Manchester City anyway. So whether he stays or goes, we should sign a midfielder, in my opinion. We need cover. We need cover for Rodri. We can't go on. I'm sorry, right? But the reaction that we all had, every single Manchester City fan's reaction to when Rodri went down in the final against Fluminense, proves that we need a midfielder. It's not normal to react like that. It's not normal. We was all like, no, 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 no. That is not normal. It's not normal, man. You gotta get a replacement in. And I think Kimmich would be absolutely perfect for us. Perfect. Cooler says, would Kimmich's ages, or you say age, are you talking about age or wages? Would Kimmich's wages be worth it? They are massive and could be close to KDB or more. I don't think he's worth it because he's on the decline. I think it's harsh to say he's on the decline now, bro. He's only about to turn 29. Let me have a look at his wages. Bayern Munich wages. Okay, this is from Capology, which we use on a fairly frequent basis. He's on 375,000 euros a week. You know what's mad? Do you not find it weird how like European teams who apparently got no money all pay like huge wages? Like what is going on there? Yeah, so he's on 375,000 euros a week, which in pounds, 375 to GBP is 325,000 pounds a week. Now you probably have to look at like taxes and shit and like how much is he getting after that. But you are right. I mean, for me, if we look at Man City's wages, where would I want him around? I'd probably want him around. Yeah, so he can't be going in at 325, mate, above Bernardo Silva, John Stones, Foden. Like, for me, I'd probably want him around this area here. Gvardiol, Rodri, Foden, maybe like 220, 225. It depends whether he'd accept that, though. That's probably where I'd be wanting him. I agree in the sense I wouldn't want him to be going up here, lad. Yeah, towards Kevin De Bruyne money. If I was to offer him the deal, I'd be like, get him in and around this sort of area. Yeah, this sort of area. Also, why is Phil Foden 0 years old? That's a bit weird. But yeah, that's a good point, bro. Good point. But you have to check. You probably have to check the taxes and all that to see how it all works out, and like then sponsorship deals and all that kind of stuff, bro. But it's a good point. Tinte says, what happens to Nunes, Kovacic, Foden, Silva, and Alvarez? Well, okay, so Bernardo Silva, if we're being honest, he's probably going to leave in the summer. If he doesn't, that's a madness from the European teams. Like, surely. I don't want him to leave, by the way, but surely a European team is bidding 50 million quid for him. And if that's the case, he goes because that's his release clause, apparently. So we got to take Silva out, yeah? Get rid of him. Alvarez is going to be backup striker as soon as we get our players fit. He's going to be backup striker again. Kovacic, for me, is a squad rotational player, so I wouldn't really worry about that either. And Nunes, yeah, listen, Nunes can be used as and when. Like, for me, I think I think that the age of having this really thin squad is coming to an end. I think that this season has proved that you can't. I just don't think you can do it every year. I think you've got to get an element of luck, in my opinion, to have this super small squad. Yeah. And you got to remember as well, like, teams are spending dough, man. Teams are spending dough, like Chelsea, mate. Like, they will be back eventually, and they're spending cash. They're building a squad. I think you've got to start to build that squad up just a little bit. I'm not saying go crazy, like, and have like 25 players, like, who are all first team players. But just like build it up a bit more. We don't need to go mad. Just get an extra 2 or 3 players in. That's what I think. That's what I think we need to probably do, man. And Chicken Wing says Pep made Kimmich the player he is today. So I mean, again, that's probably backs up why he probably wants to come to Manchester City, because it'll be perfect. It'll be a perfect deal. Oh, bit of news here. Oh, a bit of news here on I didn't see this. I've been at the gym this morning, man, so I've not seen any of this news. But check this out, guys. A loan fee for Calvin Phillips would be north of £5 million this month. And Man City ideally want to build an inner obligation to buy the summer at a fee close to the £40 million mark they paid. So they're going to get their money back. Man City are probably going to get their money back. And even if they don't get their money back, they're going to lose very, very little on the deal. And by the way, this is why I think they went for Calvin Phillips and didn't stick with Lavia. Because people always say, oh, well, why don't we just keep Lavia? Why didn't we keep Lavia? I'll tell you why we didn't keep Lavia. Because we sold him for what? 12, 15 million quid, something like that. So that's 15 million in. We then put a 20% sell-on clause or whatever it was, and he was sold for 60 million. Yeah. So that's another what? 12 million. So effectively, you got somewhere between 18 and 25 million for a guy that had played about one minute, or maybe more than 1 minute, right? 20, 25 million. And then you bought an experienced England international for 40 million. So your net spend on the two is around 16 million. That's probably why they did it. Now, obviously, it's backfired because in the end, you've not had the player that you wanted. But I can completely understand why Manchester City went for Calvin Phillips and decided to let Lavia go, because from a financial point of view, it was a great deal. It was a great deal. It just, when at the end of the day, footballing terms, it didn't quite work out well. So yeah, listen, that's an interesting one. I just want to see if there's anything more on Kimmich before I move on to Pedro Neto, who we spoke about a little bit last night, but City have been linked with him. I don't think there's anything else on Kimmich. Yeah, Calvin Phillips has been linked with Juventus, Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Newcastle, I believe, have been interested in him as well. But yeah, listen, that's I'd love to get him. I'd love to get Kimmich, man. I think Kimmich is absolutely class. In fact, let's do a little bit more of his stats, man. We've not really done too much on his stats. Let me get his stats up on screen here. So this is this season. 20 games, 1 goal, 6 assists. Played all 6 games in the Champions League, 2 assists, 1 goal, 3 assists in 11 Bundesliga matches so far, and an assist in the DFB Pokal. But then if you go back a little bit, and we'll have a look at his injury record as well in a sec, guys. But look at these numbers, man. Those are fantastic numbers. Those are real good numbers, man. Real good numbers. Right, poll in the chat, by the way. There's a poll live in the chat. 47 games, all competitions, 7 goals, 11 assists. Do you want me to compare that to Gundogan last year? Gundogan transfer, man. Let me have a look what Gundogan got last year. Gundogan got last year, compared to Kimmich, he got 11 and 7. So I just switched it round. They just switch it around. So I genuinely think that it could be a real good deal this for us, and it doesn't seem that expensive, man. It doesn't seem that dear. It seems like a good price. It seems like a good price to me if you can get him for around 50 million. That seems like a real good buy. You can have him for 4 or 5 years, and I'd be all over it. I think it's the perfect signing for Manchester City. I really do, man. I really do. But whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. Let me have a look at his injury record, man. Injury history. Let me bring this up. Oh. Hang on a minute. Actually, 2014. Not, we don't want to go that far. That's a bit unfair, isn't it? So, ill twice, muscular problems, coronavirus, fitness, coronavirus, quarantine, influenza. Man, all these are just ill, man. Influenza, ill. I've never seen anything like this before, bro. I need some vitamin C, mate. You know what I mean? Like, he's ill all the time. So actually, it's not that bad, really. If you get rid of the illnesses, yeah, which I guess you can't really do because he gets ill all the time, but it's not like a real injury. You know what I mean? It's not like a fucking meniscus damage or back issue. You know what I mean? It's just like a stomach problems. Do you know what I mean? So if you get rid of these, he's had, like, if we go for his actual things, he had a muscular problem. That's one. A fitness issue. Maybe that's just because he come back from COVID, so he won't put that in. So he's had 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's had 4 injuries since 2016. So actually, that's actually not too bad. Now, he does get ill a lot, so that you do have to take that into consideration. But it's not like a real injury. You know what I mean? It's like he tore his hamstring or something. So actually, it looks pretty good, man. Looks pretty good. Jordan says, "Yo, LB, would you have him as a right back or CDM? I see him benching Walker and playing that inverted role." Well, so me personally, I'd like to sign him and say to him, "Yo, you're going to be in the team pretty much every week, but you will be rotated because you're versatile. You're Bernardo Silva of the defensive zone. Yeah, Bernardo Silva gets rotated up the pitch, false 9, right wing, box to box, double pivot. Yeah, Kimmich is my opposite, right back. Number 6, double pivot Rodri, and then the Gundogan role. But again, apparently the rumours are that he don't want to do that. He wants to play in the 6th position. All right, then go and join fucking United then. You know what I mean? And we ain't got a problem. Well, don't do that because we do want you to join. Big up Elliot, man. I think that's his first donation on the channel. Big up, bro. Thank you very much for the support. Says Kimmich at right back doing the inverted role, maybe. As I said, bro, for me, I'm happy to bring him in and just say, you will play in the Gundogan role. That's your position. Now, does he want to play there? Because apparently he said he wants to play as number 6. He want to play defensive midfielder. I just think that's a lot of BS, man. You really telling me he sat there going, oh, no, I don't want to play 10 yards, 15 yards further forward, getting goals and assists. I want to play as the DM. I mean, maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know, but you tell me that he's going to reject us for that. And by the way, if you get someone in of the caliber of Kimmich, you can then rest Rodri on the reg. Do you know what I mean? The problem that we've got now with Rodri, I've said this to you before. One of the problems Rodri has, yeah, and it's a weird one, is that he's too good. He's too good to drop. This is one of the problems you got with him. And this is why you're going to really struggle when you buy DM, because the drop-off's going to be crazy. If you get someone like Kimmich, who's a good footballer, you can rest Rodri whenever you want, mate. Because you've not got that huge drop-off. Just like you didn't have a huge drop-off when Gundogan went there. We smacked United for 6 when he played there. So I'd bring him in and say, you're playing Gundogan role, but you might play right back inverted. You might play number 6. Like, you're a technical good player. You know what I mean? Phil Foden, another one who gets moved out everywhere. He's played left wing, right wing, false 9, striker, number 8. Like, he just gets played everywhere. I think the days of having players playing specific positions, bar a select few roles, are coming to an end. I mean, if you look at all of our positions, for example, Kyle Walker plays in different, not different positions, but like different roles. 1 minute he's a right winger, next minute he's a right back, like right-sided centre back. You got John Stones, 1 minute you centre back, next minute you midfield. You know, Gvardiol, you could be left back, you could be left wing, you could be left-sided centre back. Rodri's powering forward, playing like Yaya Toure nowadays. Do you know what I mean? The wingers are holding the ball. Next minute they're inverted. Bernardo's getting moved. Phil Foden's getting moved. You know, Alvarez is all over the gaff. So maybe that's just Manchester City, but it does seem like even if you look at like other teams that is starting to happen. I mean, look at Trent. Trent inverts, and it won't be long. By the way, it won't be long until you see a centre back invert into midfield, just like we see John Stones. Not Manchester City, because obviously Akanji does it. I'm talking about other teams. So I think as the game develops, as the game is played more and more and more, and tactics become like a ever present and get even more intense, you're going to start to see, because no one grows up now and says, oh, I want to play long ball football. Well, very few people do. Everyone wants to be Pep now. Everyone wants to be Pep. I mean, look at how everyone plays out from the back nowadays. Look at the De Zerbi ball. Everyone plays Pep ball. Everyone wants to play out from the back nowadays. Yeah, so everyone's copied him on that. It won't be long until people start copying him on the centre-back situation. Big up to Patrick. It says, time the squad gets bigger, going deeper in all comps, and the new Champions League format in 2024-2025 means more matches and more of a strain on player fitness. And add in, Patrick, FIFA Club World Cup, which starts in 2025, which is going to be expanded. City will play probably 4 or 5 games. I don't know the full thing, but we'll play extra games there as well at the end of the season, I believe. So you're absolutely spot on for me, mate. You're absolutely spot on. I think we've done really well with having the squad a bit shorter. But for me, it does appear that this is the last season now where you can keep that going. I think from next year, this summer, again, I'm not saying you have to go crazy. I'm just add 1 or 2 players in. Add 1 or 2. So going back to the person's chat before, whoever did the super chat, I think it was Tinsay, who talked about, what about this player, this player, this player, this player. I think going forward next season, we're gonna have a bigger squad anyway. Just buy like 2 players. You don't have to go mad. Big up Chicken Wing says Bayern banned him for weeks because he refused to take the job. Refused to take the job. Oh, the jab. Refused to take the jab in the Corona period. That's why he missed a lot of games. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, transfer Mark probably didn't really know what to put down there on the injury list. Didn't know what to put down. I'm big up for that information, man. Guys, make sure you have smashed the like button if you've not done so already. Nearly 600 people tuned in. Let's get those likes to 250. I need 25 people to hit the thumbs up button to get us to 250 likes. Big up to everyone that has smashed the like and subscribe. We have now reached 12,000 subscribers as well, man. So big up to everyone that has subscribed. Buzzing to be on 12k. It looks sick. So yeah, we'll keep that moving. Keep that moving. Let me have a look at the poll. I did a poll in the chat a few moments ago. Joshua Kimmich to Manchester City. Do you want him at the football club? I'm going to see what the poll results are. I'd love to check, but for some reason my live chat's not working, so I have to go in the stream. Here we go. Oh, Ah, wow. Well, I thought you guys would vote. Didn't 2% of people in the stream want Kimmich at Manchester City. 8%. I'm interested to know why. We need the 8% to stand up here. Why, 8%, do you not want him at Manchester City? Is it wages? Is it age? Is it what is it? I don't know. I'd be interested to know what why you don't want him, man. I'd be interested to know why you guys wouldn't want him. They're probably jealous. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just most of them it's age. I think we've got to get over this though, guys. He's 28 going on 29. He's not 32. Yeah. You sign him. He's a top player as well. This is what you can go and get a 24-year-old, yeah, if you want, but they're probably not going to be as good as Kimmich. You know, you can go and get him in, and you've got a solid player there. You've got a solid player for the next 4 or 5 years. You don't have to mess around. Do you know what I mean? We're chilling. So I think it's a great deal, man. Look at Fernandinho. We signed Fernandinho like what, 27, 28, something like that. Guy played for us for near 10 years. I don't care about the fact he's only 28, guys. His wages are an issue. You know, I think he would need to drop the wages. I think he would need to drop the wages for sure. But listen, you know, I'm sure he'd probably get a lot of sponsorship deals and all that kind of stuff. We could sort him out. We could do a little brown envelope deal if we want. You know what I mean? Because that's apparently all we ever do nowadays. So I'm sure we'd be fine, man. I'm sure we'd be fine on that. Yeah, I've not really seen too many people with true explanations as to why you don't want him at Manchester City. I'm just looking at the chart. A couple people have mentioned his wages, which I guess is fair, but that's not a reason. That's not a reason for me that you'd say no. Yeah, that's for the club to sort out. It's not really my problem. I want him. You know what I mean? I'm saying I want him. So yeah. No, I agree, Alex. I agree. I think it's a great price. I think it's a great price. And 50 million, if that is true, I'd be all over that deal. I would be all over that deal. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, it is looking like maybe Manchester City will sign someone when Calvin Phillips leaves, which I'm buzzing about. I'm buzzing about. Right, let me speak about Pedro Neto. Now, this was weird. Who was in the stream the other day when we were speaking about Pedro Neto to Manchester City, and then the day after or the 2 days later, Manchester City is suddenly linked with Pedro Neto? That is weird, man. I don't know why that happened, but yeah, Manchester City have been linked with Pedro Neto. I'm trying to find the tweet about this. And listen, I like him, man. I like Pedro Neto. I think it would be good balance on that right-hand side. You've got Pedro Neto, Oscar Bob, Jeremy Doku, Foden, who all can play there. And then on the left, you've got Doku and Grealish. I think Pedro Neto to Manchester City, I think I'd be up for that. I think I'd be up for it. Now, why can't I find the bloody tweet now? I need to start bookmarking tweets, man. Or maybe we can just search for it. But yeah, Pedro Neto of Wolves. Now, this season, he's absolutely slamming it, guys. He's absolutely slamming it. I think he's the joint Premier League top assister in the division, which is impressive, especially given the fact he plays for Wolves. Okay, yeah, here we go. Manchester City hold an interest in Wolves winger Pedro Neto. Very interesting. According to Steve K, Pedro Neto has informed Wolves sporting director Matt Hobbs that he will not be seeking a move during the January transfer window. But Manchester City and Arsenal have entered the race to secure the services of the highly rated attacker. This will probably be in the summer. Okay, so this is a summer deal. How much is Pedro valued at? He joined Wolves for 18 million euros. So I think they're going to want 50 to 60 million. I think they're going to want 50 to 60 million, man. I think it could be similar, maybe slightly higher than Nunes. I think it might be slightly higher than Nunes, to be honest. Let's have a look at his transfer stats, his transfer mark data here. So 23 years old. Decent. He'll be 24 when he joins Manchester City in the summer if he joins us. He's got a transfer marked estimated value of 42 million euros. That's around what, 37 million quid? I think that's a bit low. I think that's a bit low. I think he's probably going to be looking at 50 to 60 million pound. I think if you get to 60 million, I think that you're starting to push it, in my opinion. I think that's a little bit too high. But yeah, 60 million is probably what I'd go up to. He's attacking right winger, left footed. That's his graph. So he's done quite well, you know what I mean, on that. Contract expires in 2027. So what, 3 years left on his contract? Let's have a look at his stats this year. So look at that, that's pretty good, isn't it, guys? That is pretty good for Wolves. You know what I mean? 8 assists. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that Cunha, yeah, who played for Wolves, if he actually knew where the back of the net is, I'm pretty sure this guy probably be in double figures by now on the assists. Because that Cunha just doesn't know how to put the ball in the net. Oh, that's an interesting point there by Fraser, by the way. He's got his agent is George Mendes, apparently. Okay. Now, he can't play left wing. He's played left wing a couple of times already. He's played 5 matches for Portugal. Let's have a look what he did last year. So last year, he only played 18 games, got 1 assist. Not particularly great. We'll have to check his injury record. Maybe his injury record's a bit stinky. Let's have a look at the year before. 13 games. Hang on a minute. Guys, red flags in the chat, man. Red flags in the chat, man. The year before, 31, 5, 6. That's decent. Okay, we need to have a look at his injury record, man. I smell something dodgy here with his injury record, people. Oh, God. Look at this. This ain't great, Brev. Nah, this ain't looking good for me. Bearing in mind, he's only 23 years old. He had a hamstring injury, was out for 2 months. He had an ankle injury, was out for what? 4 months. Had a knee injury, out for a year, basically. And he's had a couple other injuries there, keeping him out for what? 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Call it a month. Disappointing. That's disappointing, man. That is disappointing for me. Because I really like him. But that ain't looking great, to be honest. Especially when you're going to be up there. Because I think they're going to want 60 mil, mate. Minimum, I think, probably. You have to ask Wolves fans. But I think they're probably going to want 60 mil. 60 mil for a guy that's played. In fact, if we look at his stats by competition, he played 11 games this season. He played 18 the year before, 13 the year before that. He's had 2 bad years, isn't it? He's had 2 bad years. Out of 5, he's had 2 bad years. This one's looking okay. The first 2 weren't too bad. Obviously, this one, it was a breakthrough season, I'd imagine. Okay. I did like the deal, but for 60 mil, yeah, you're not trusting City to manage him well. Maybe. And I guess the thing I would say as well is if he has a full season this year and does really well this year, then maybe you got to just take the gamble. But yeah, as Chicken Wing says, he's injured a lot though. Yeah, with the super chat. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What other players could we? Olise. You'd rather sign Olise? Okay, let's have a look at Olise. So he's got a contract until 2027. Estimated transfer mark value of 50 million euros, which I don't think is too far off the mark. Probably, again, you're probably looking towards the 55, 60 mil. He's only 22 years old. He's only just turned 22 as well, so a little bit younger than Neto. Let's have a look at his injury. Let's have a look at his injury history straight away. Okay, so he had a hamstring injury, pretty bad one, pretty bad tear, but he's now back. Other than that, that's fine. You know what I mean? Just one bad hamstring, but other than that, that's okay. This season, how many games he played? 9 games, 5 goals, 1 assist. That's impressive. That is impressive. Scored against Chelsea, 2 goals against Brentford, assist there, goal there. What? Okay, so a goal involvement in each of his 4 last games. That's pretty good. Let's have a look at last season. What did he do last season? Last season, 11 assists, 2 goals in 37 games. I don't think that's bad, you know. Considering the fact that, like, they had Patrick Vieira, didn't they, last year for a lot of the games, and they didn't even have a shot on target in any of the matches for, like, 12 matches. Apparently, they were a washed team, yeah. To get 11 assists, 2 goals in the season, He's pretty decent. Nitton says he has a £60 million release clause, but DJM1 says it's 100 mil. But then Zohib says it's 50 to 60 mil. I think 50 to 60 mil. He's got Mahrez style as well, isn't he? You know what I mean? I think he's more Mahrez-y than Neto. I think Neto's more like your Jovetic, yeah. Your I don't know, like your Tevez, your Salah. You like they just constantly run your Chiesa, yeah, your Chiesa from Juventus. He's more like that. I think Olise is more Mahrez-y style. More can hold the ball up. For 60 mil. Be interested to see if City are interested in that, because obviously we do need another winger. Yeah, one sec. Let me zoom in a bit. We do need another winger, 100%. And at 60 mil, it seemed like decent value. How many years has he played in the Prem for? So he's only had 2 seasons. Oh, no. Yeah, he's had 2 full seasons in the Prem. 26 games there, 7 GA. Last year, great. This year, doing really well as well. He's already got 5 goals this year. So in 9 PL games, yeah, this year, he's already got more Prem goals than he has in the 2 seasons previous combined. Assists are a little down, but he's scoring, so who cares? I guess is what Palace people would be saying. So, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, Thotam says MCFC Tone says he thinks Manchester City will go all in for Verts. Let me see what MCFC Tone's saying. I think he has a few. I think he has a few contacts, doesn't he? IT. I mean, follow him. Let me follow him. Oh, we got some more news. Sam Lee. Sorry to deviate off track here. Paqueta is on Manchester City's radar, but the betting investigation has put that on hold. While the betting investigation is ongoing, City are not going to take any risks. Oh, we need Paqueta, man. We need Paqueta, Brev. We got to get him in. What else is he saying? Oh, yeah, I think City will be all in on this lad in the summer. Florian Wirtz. Man City like Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen, but a January move is considered off limits. Yeah, we knew that anyway, innit? We knew that anyway. Okay. Right. I don't know, man. For me, yeah, get me Paqueta in. Get me Paqueta in the summer if that's possible. I think we need a winger. Okay, so if we actually just deep it, what do we need? Right, we need a right winger. Yeah. So who are you looking at? You're looking at Olise, Neto. I like Chiesa at Juventus. I've not really seen too much of him since he's come back from his injury, but I think he's not really a Pep style. We need an attacking midfielder, probably to replace Bernardo Silva, because he's going to probably leave in the summer. Paqueta, I think, would be absolutely amazing. And then I think you need to start looking at who to replace Kevin De Bruyne. Musiala, Florian Wirtz, someone like that. And then a DM, which we kind of need now. Yeah, we kind of need that now. And then maybe in the summer, obviously, it all depends on who leaves. You know what I mean? Echeverri ain't going to be at City for a while, though, Fraser. You know what I mean? He's probably, I think he's staying at River Plate for a year. And then he'll go Girona. But it'll be interesting staying at River Plate, though, because if they've sold him, they're not going to be desperate to play him. You know what I mean? Unless he slams for them, they're not going to be like trying to build him up because he's no longer their player. So we got Echeverri, I think, Libby, because he's mint, and we're going to wait for him in a few years. But I'm just hesitant at keeping him at River Plate. I don't know if that's going to. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. The fans don't like him now, anyway. Not all of them, but some of them. What are your thoughts on the left back situation? Miguel, bro. Get me Miguel, man, from Girona, please. By the way, remember, tomorrow night, Girona versus Atletico Madrid live watch along. Going to be a huge game. And we can do some more Miguel watch and Savio watch and Jan Couto watch. And basically anyone that's in the team. True Blue Tie says, Olise would be amazing, but sorry, I stand by. Bernardo will stay and retire at City. I just don't get why would he put in a £50 million release clause in his contract though, bro, if he wanted to stay and retire. He'd just be like, nah, I'm just signing a deal. But he's got a release clause in there. Unless he's like, put me a release clause in. The only club I'm going to though is Barca. But why'd you go Barca now? Barca are ass. You know what I mean? Why'd you go there now? So I don't know. You kind of don't really know what's going on in the head of Bernardo Silva. I think he could just stay and be like, I'm going to leave and go Benfica in 2 years. Because that was his original plan. He wanted to go back to Benfica at 32. So maybe he'll just do that. But weird. Yeah, I've seen that, Lauren. I've seen that. I've seen that, man. Is a £50 million release clause up front 50 mil? Nah, I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. You know, it's probably staggered, isn't it? So I don't know. Olise to Liverpool, here we go, says Dom Baller. I don't know what's going on there. Kimmich won't come for a bit part. Yeah, I wouldn't play him as a bit part. He'd be starting, man. He'd be starting week in, week out for me. He'd be just replacing fucking Kovacic or someone like that. So he'd start for me week in, week out. No problems. Yes, Masson, what you're saying. Yeah, just some rumours about Kimmich, bro. Some rumours about Kimmich. Apparently City are interested. Maybe, possibly Calvin Phillips could go the other way plus cash. What about Nunes? I don't know about Nunes, man, because for me, Nunes a good player, but I don't really get why we signed Nunes and Kovacic for me, because they're both kind of going to be playing in the same position. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. It kind of makes no sense. What about Rico? Rico's chilling, man. Rico's only young. You know what I mean? He's only 19 or whatever, so he's still got years of chilling. And Pep likes him. Pep actually likes him. He plays him a lot. He plays him in front of like Nunes and Kovacic sometimes. So I won't really worry about Rico Lewis. He's going to get game time 100%. Dabala. Yeah, I wouldn't have him at City, yeah, but I believe that, yeah, he has a 20 million release clause or something crazy. So that's a bit of a madness. Nah, because Tinsay, here's the thing. So KDB, yeah, how long is he going to be at the football club? He's going to be at the football club for another 18 months or something, yeah, maybe 2 years. And you can't play him every game. So you're going to have to rotate. And you're going to have to rotate Rodri as well. So Kimmich could be potentially playing the 6 sometimes. And you don't have to start every single game. You know what I mean? I'd start in most games, but you have to play every single game. You get plenty of rotation. I think we've got to start looking at rotating players a bit more than we currently do. Because otherwise, mate, Rodri, he's not going to last much longer. You keep spamming him 60 games a season, plus the games for Spain. And now he's going to start playing in midfield, isn't it? Because Sergio Busquets retired now. I'm sure he's retired from Spain, isn't it? And if he's not, he's going to retire soon. So, you know, once Rodri, because at the moment he's playing centre-back, I think. So once Rodri steps into midfield, what's going to happen then? So, yeah, listen, it's a bit of an interesting one. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Let's get those likes up. We've got, 550 people tuned in. We're 8 people away from 300 likes. Big up to everyone that has dropped in the stream today. I think that's it on the transfer news. Let me just check news now. See if there's anything else. PSG apparently want Calvin Phillips. Nah, I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's it for transfer news. But I'm pretty sure over the next couple of days we'll hear some further news. Yeah, there's nothing else I can see here. There's nothing else I can see. That's pretty much it. Thuram. Yeah, a lot of people like him. Mbappe. Bro, I don't even know what's going on with Mbappe, mate. It wouldn't surprise me if he signed a new contract at PSG. He's got him by strings, bro. He got him strings, and he's got by strings. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Mbappe. But Build says Man City aren't interested in Kimmich. Let's have a look at what Build Sport are saying. We'll go on their website. What are Build saying? There we go. How do you change it into English? Can anyone read German? How do I change it into English, man? Yeah, I don't see anything anyway. Just speaking about the Liverpool game last night. Bayern hat diesem Bundesliga star off den Zettel. What does that mean? Don't know. Can't read German, man. Can't read German. Right, guys, I'm going to allow it. Big up to everyone that joined. Right, I'm going to go to, what's it called? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to do a stream tonight. It will either be the watch along. I'm going to get a couple of the City boys on and we'll have a bit of a chat about the start of the season and how we've done so far. So, yeah, if you fancy joining me on that later on, come and watch. Then make sure you are subscribed. Hit the notification bell as well if you've not done so already. Who's live now, man? Footy Judge Mo's live. I'm going to send you to Judge Mo. If you fancy going over there, then hit up next. But make sure you drop a like on stream if you've not done so already. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later on for a big stream. Make sure you give me comments down below if you're watching back on the replay. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you in a bit, guys.